This is Optimal Relationships Daily, episode 737, My Way Back into Life, A Personal Story, Part 2, by Corbano of lovesagame.com. Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Optimal Relationships Daily podcast. I am Greg Audino, and this is where you can learn how to create quality relationships in your life each and every weekday as we narrate lessons to you from some of the best blogs we can find. And today's article is actually a continuation from yesterday. If you are new here, I recommend listening to yesterday's episode first. That's episode 736. But if you are all caught up, let's get right into part 2 and continue optimizing your life. My Way Back into Life, A Personal Story, Part 2, by Corbano of lovesagame.com. Recovery finally started. Then suddenly, it got better. I clearly felt an improvement in my overall state. What happened? I made a decision. Standing at a crossroads, I made the decision whether to go left or right. Turning left meant to continue with this pathetic existence without joy and perspective, an existence that equals death. Turning right meant to change, and eventually head towards a new and better life. I consciously took that step into change. I decided that I couldn't go on like this. All of that meant accepting the fact that it was over and letting go. Man, that felt good. I felt an instant release. Yes, it meant accepting that she would never come back. Yes, it meant saying goodbye to that golden future together that I had painted so well in my mind. Yes, it meant standing up and taking back what was mine, even if it meant that I had to kick myself every day. While this day marked a milestone in my recovery journey, the way that followed was still a long, rocky road. The painful road ahead. I had to go through all the painful phases, through the depression, the missing, the anger, the lonely nights where I wondered if she slept alone, the guilt, the endless times I checked emails, mailboxes, picked up the phone and hung up again. It was like 2 steps forward, 1 step back. The next few months were tough. I had one especially bad problem. I was constantly rethinking and reliving the past, and every time I tried to block my thoughts, I would feel guilty, as if not thinking about her was a betrayal. It was impossible to let go while I kept her alive in my mind. So I decided to approach this problem a different way. The secret of mental control. I remember that I visited some friends the first time I had gone out to meet someone, and I forced myself to not think about her for 1 hour. Only for 1 hour. What now seems almost laughable was nearly impossible to carry out back then. I committed not to beat myself up or feel guilty if I didn't make it the hour, but it worked. I made it 1 hour without thinking about my ex. This was a real victory. With time, I expanded the time frame more and more. Additionally, I learned some mental control techniques like meditation and yoga. The less I was thinking about her, the more I was able to let go. Know thyself. Step by step, I learned to function again, to find myself again. The more I concentrated on myself and not on the outside, the more I learned who I really was. I found out many things about myself back then, things I didn't know before. What kind of a person I was and why I had to become like that. For a few months, I focused very intently on this task, to learn who I was. I worked with counselors. A very good friend who is a psychotherapist helped me tremendously to reach my personal goals, and educated myself in different categories of self-improvement. It was all about self-improvement. Find out who you are and become a better person. I learned more in 2 months about myself and how to improve my circumstances than in my entire life until then. And you know what happened? As I got to know myself, I started to like myself for the first time in my adult life. The mission. After that came a period where I wanted to give back what I had learned. I decided to help others because I honestly believed, and still do believe, that this is one major secret to overcoming a breakup. I joined a breakup helpline run by a non-profit-making organization. I had to take a counseling course for a few months first before they would let me take calls from real people. The experience was overwhelming. I learned so much about breakup recovery and what people are mostly suffering from. I learned what helped them and what didn't. I learned that I wasn't alone, that nearly every caller had the exact same problem that I had. Additionally, I did surveys with family, friends, and other people on how they overcame their breakups. I was determined to find an applicable method to shorten the recovery time of a breakup, and at that same time, to improve themselves as a person. Showdown. My next personal hurdle was something I was terribly afraid of: to face my ex again. I maintained no contact for almost 2 years and didn't know what to expect. The result after I saw her again for the first time was very surprising. I was completely indifferent about my feelings toward her, and it felt like I was meeting an old friend. That was the proof for me that I was over her. I finally did it. A new man. What happened after that? Well, my life took a very fortunate turn after that. I had been able to resolve most of my issues, became stronger and confident, and understood the main pillars of a fulfilling relationship. Like a phoenix, I rose from the ashes and became a new person, a better me. I've learned even more about effective breakup recovery, and together with my friend the psychoanalyst, I developed a 7-step coaching program which has helped many people to get over their breakups in record time. So what would you say? Am I real? Man, you won't believe how real I am. Your friend and coach, Eddie Corbano. You just listened to part 2 of the post titled My Way Back into Life, a Personal Story, by Eddie Corbano of lovesagame.com. At Optimal Relationships Daily, we understand that navigating sensitive issues such as money and health can be extremely stressful, and such stress and anxiety can easily create family conflicts and affect your relationships. Before that happens, know that BetterHelp is here to help you cope with your emotions. BetterHelp assesses your needs and matches you with your personal licensed professional therapist, providing a safe and private online environment for you at your convenience. They have professional counselors specializing in depression, family conflicts, grief, and more to help you. In fact, so many people have been using BetterHelp that they are recruiting additional counselors in all 50 states. BetterHelp is not self-help, it is professional counseling where everything you share is confidential. Guys, I want you to start living a happier life today. As a listener, you'll get 10% off your first month by visiting betterhelp.com/ORD. Join over 1 million people taking charge of their mental health. Again, that's BetterHelp, HELP.com/ORD. And thank you so much to Eddie Corbano. I hope you enjoyed this 2-part episode featuring his journey to breakup recovery. I think it's important to note that Eddie's journey was filled with ups and downs, and decisions that turned out to be bad, and strategies that were improved upon, etc. And when you do consider these things, if you're going through a breakup, then remember that slip-ups are part of the process. It's a time of humongous learning, and that means you're going to look back at some of the moments and laugh, or see how you could have done things better. So if you can identify any parts of your breakup recovery where, maybe you were self-sabotaging a little, don't be so hard on yourself. You had to do it to stand a chance at getting to the next level, right? Right. And with that, let's wrap up today's episode. Thank you so much for being here, folks, and have a great rest of your day. I will see you back here tomorrow, where your optimal life awaits.